Good afternoon, everybody. Man, the leaves are really coming on now. Really starting to fill out. Them little dogwood trees are always pretty. Them white things right there. Hope that shows up. It seemed like it happened overnight, but it also at the same time seems like it's taking forever. But the leaves are there. They're just starting. And now it kind of feels like spring. You know, it's warm and the leaves are there. Still can't hear them when the wind blows because they're not big enough yet. That rustling hiss sound that they do, that's something I really look forward to. But it ain't far. Everything else is greening up nicely. I think that tree's dead. That big ash tree right there. There ain't nothing up top there. Yeah, he must be dead. Good candidate for firewood. So is the other one right there beside it. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. We had them emerald ash borers come through a while ago. Well, no, they're probably okay, because these ones don't have anything on them yet either. Those are ash. This little fella over here is an ash, and he's got stuff on him now. I don't know. I can kind of see from here where there's spots of the bark missing. I don't know if I can zoom in on that or not. No, I can't hold it still enough. Too much coffee for something like that. It's really pretty, though. A little chilly this morning. I think it dipped down to about 40 degrees last night. It's about 70 right now. Pretty nice. Really ought to do something outside. Well, I was close. It's 69 degrees outside. And last night it got down to 34. I thought it was 40. Last night it was 34 degrees out. That's pretty darn close to freezing. Can't remember the exact cutoff date here for the frost, where it's supposed to be safe after. May something, 1st or the 15th or something like that. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but yeah, we still could have frost, I guess. That kind of really sucks. This guy's saying it's going to be rain here next 12 to 24 hours, but according to the Weather Channel, there's nothing there. So, I don't know. Next Sunday, according to the Weather Channel, it's supposed to be like 87. That's pretty darn close to 90. And that's kind of where it gets a little uncomfortable for me. But right now, you can see it's a nice, comfortable 66 degrees inside. Uh-oh, I hear a cat. Absolutely great day for the solar here. You can see we're in float, and it's limiting, the charge controller is limiting the energy coming in. Though it did get a little bit cloudy. Float mode, man. That's awesome. It went through its absorb, but now we're in float. And, of course I haven't been here to really do anything. Kind of just been out and about. But, hey, it's doing good. Well, even since it's a little bit cloudy out, we're still getting almost 200 watts being dumped back into the on-grid side of my home. The inverters are doing okay, the grid tie inverters, but I did notice that some of the wires started getting a little warm, so I'm starting to get a little concerned about that. I may end up having to, well, I'm gonna have to make them a little bit bigger, thicker wires. I thought it was 12 gauge wire, but it turns out it's 14 gauge, so I didn't really check that, so I'm not liking that. That's on the big inverter. So I'll probably put 10 or 6 gauge on it. It's only 400 watts, but I don't know, if it's getting warm, that makes me nervous. So, yeah, I've seen this up to like 450 and 500 watts at a time, so it's kind of cool. You know, just kind of a peace of mind that I'm not a complete slave to the power company. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is evidence that there are wizards and witches out there. Peanut butter and granola. If you have not tried these, go to the store right now, buy one, and don't even take it home. Just go out to the parking lot and sit in your car and indulge. These things are awesome. They're little peanut butter ball things with granola inside of them. I'm not really a peanut butter kind of guy or a granola kind of guy, but this witchcraft here is, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Well, it happened. Again, I got dispatched back to work. Figure it's just about the time that everything's starting to get nice where I can get out and do some planting and start the gardening and all that crap. My chickens are walking around over there. That's something else I need to do, fix their fence. I'll actually do that after I'm done shooting this. I got called back to another short-term call at a coal-fired power plant. Working 6 10s for 3 or 4 weeks. It'll be a good bit of money and not a long time to get it, so that's kind of nice. I won't really miss the planting season and all that. And it's going to be nice weather in case we're working out. Seems like every time I go to this place, it's always getting cold, or it's already cold and miserable and crappy. And we're usually working like 12s or something. 10-hour days aren't that bad. It'll be nice that it's still daylight when I get home. So that'll be kind of nice. Yeah, going back out for the same contractor I was with last time. I think it was like 6 months ago when was the last time I was there? October? Yeah, so around 6 months. Pretty good contractor to work for. There's only going to be a few people in the crew. So apparently it's not some hurry up emergency kind of thing. Car going up the hill here. Yeah, so I'm hoping it's going to be a nice, easy, laid-back job. Nobody's barking down your throat trying to get you to hurry up and all that stuff. And I'm always torn when I take overtime jobs. It's like I want a buttload of hours, but then I also want a 40-hour job. 40-hour jobs, you don't make a whole lot of money. Overtime jobs, you make a lot of money, but you're never home. And then you end up having to take a day off to go do bills and buy groceries and all that crap. And it's not so bad on 6/10s because you have Sunday off that you can go do whatever you want. But a lot of the banks aren't open, post offices aren't open. I do have a package that I've been trying to get sent out. I'm still waiting on some things for that. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see in the picture here, but my grass looks like a jungle. I'm not going to mow it today. I don't care. The last day, till I go back to work, I don't feel like mowing. I'm going to clean out the vehicle, get things ready, just so it's as easy as possible during the work week. Have all my laundry done, dishes cleaned, and all that crap, have enough set to where on the day off or my last day of work for the week, maybe I can do a little bit then. But I hate going to work, coming home, and having to do something before I'm ready to go to work tomorrow. I like to be able to just come home, already know that, okay, all I got to do is just put the food in the thing to go to work tomorrow. That's what I like. I like knowing that my clothes are ready, that I really don't have to, crap, I got to get gas in the morning or something like that. Just to be able to come home and shut off. That's what I really like. The place I'm going back to work, like I said, is a coal-fired power plant. We call it powerhouse. But a lot of people ask what a powerhouse is. A powerhouse is just a power plant. This is one where there's a lot of Native American history. Actually, right where this plant is built, actually where one unit is built, there was an Indian village back in the 1800s or into the 1700s, around in that area. And Ohio actually was Indian territory. That European people could not cross the Ohio River to go into Ohio unless they had permission, and they didn't have permission. So there's all kind of books and stuff, which actually just reminded me I want to download a book or buy a book online or whatever. What's it called? Dark and Bloody River. And it tells stories about pioneers coming from some of the forts. There's Fort Henry, there's Fort Steuben on the river right there, on the Ohio side. I think Henry's on the Ohio side. I know Fort Steuben's on the Ohio side. But there's stories about where people, the pioneers, the European people, would kind of sneak across the river and go up some streams on the Ohio side to do catfishing or hunting or whatever. Pretty crazy stuff they went through. There was one fellow who, well, there were two guys. One of the guys went catfishing up in this slough, and he hooked a fish. Well, the fish sloshes around, and he's yelling and trying to get this fish in, and of course the Indians heard him. The Indians come up and attacked him. I think there was like 4 Indians. Guy got hit in the arm with an arrow and got one in the leg, and he's still holding on to the fish, and he refused to let the fish go. And the other guy finally was able to get their canoe way back out in the river and get on down towards the fort. Got far enough away from the Indians. Well, the guy had to go through surgery back then. He survived the surgery after surviving 2 arrows being stuck in him. And it's recorded. The first thing he said when he woke up was, "How big was the fish?" They ended up keeping the fish. They ended up getting it. That's just one little story. It's amazing that things people used to do just to fish. And that actually kind of brings me back to another question I had about that story: is what kind of fishing gear did they use? I'm sure they didn't have a nice Mitchell rod, and I probably didn't say Shakespeare. It was probably a stick with a string and some crudely fashioned hook. I assume. I don't know. I don't think there was like bait casters and open face reels around that time, but I guess I really don't know. Every time I'm at this place, I catch myself staring at the river, just thinking, it wasn't really that long ago, relatively, that there were hollowed out, what is it called, dugout canoes. They take a tree and they dig out the middle of it, and that's their canoe. Or the buckskin canoes that the Indians would make and stuff. Just right there, I could walk down into that very river. Anyway, yeah, that's what's coming up for me. So, good stuff. Good times. Nothing really else to talk about. So, yeah, that's good enough of an update. Okay, everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody watching, and I appreciate the comments. Everybody's probably getting sick of the ham stuff. I did have a lot of questions, a lot of private messages about the homemade antenna, and I'll probably do a video on that sometime, talking about it. I'm going to make some other antennas, but I don't want people getting sick of them, so, or sick of me, sicker of me, sicker, more sick, either way. Alright guys, thanks for watching, have a good one.